Okay, I want to talk about two topics that come up quite often. The first one is the idea of a housing market crash. And the second one is, should you buy now or should you save more money and wait? First and foremost, never ever do I want to instill fear in anyone. I hope to provide education to homebuyers and make you very up to date and aware of the market so you can make smart decisions. You know, there's a lot of people out there and they buy emotionally and then they try and justify it. I always want to provide you with information right up front so you can make decisions for yourself. This is a really hard market we're in. It's 2021. People are doing insane things. There are many offers on homes. Offers are going way above asking price. And we still have people out there wondering, should I jump in and buy now? Or should I wait for home prices to come down in a couple of months and then I'll jump in? All right, so let's talk about the question, should you wait or should you buy? You know, I'd ask you a couple of questions. What would be your reason for waiting? Is it because you think home prices are going to be less? If that's the case, then I think you should continue to purchase now because I think home prices are going to continue to rise for some time. I'm not going to say that they'll rise in 2022 or 2023, but I do believe home prices will be more in 6 months than they are right now. And if you're in a position where you might have higher credit score or you might have a large down payment, should you wait? You know, potentially you might be in a better position to purchase then, but if you're a buyer and you think by waiting the home you're looking to buy will cost less money, I don't think that's a good reason to wait. I think you wait because there will be more opportunity. Maybe because you're going to be in a better position financially, but chances are you can't save money as fast as the market is appreciating. The market is appreciating faster than most people can save money. There are many people that purchased a year ago and they put 5% down and now they have over 20% of equity in their homes. And if they would have waited, chances are in some cases they wouldn't have been able to purchase. I think you need to consider why you're waiting. You know, everyone's scenario is different and you got to figure out what's right for you. If you think of waiting because there's going to be more options or the right one hasn't presented itself and you don't want to make an offer on something that doesn't check all the boxes, then I think you're right for waiting. Don't just buy to buy. Don't just buy because you have fear of missing out. Don't buy because your friends are purchasing and they're talking about how much equity they have gained in 1 year. That's not a reason to buy a house. The reason that you buy a house is because it fits your plan and it's what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, the idea of a housing market crash. You know, there are rumors out there and they're saying the market is going to pull back 30 to 50% by the end of the year. And it's this doom and gloom mentality. And it's been like this since the beginning of the pandemic. Right after everything was shut down, there were people coming out and they were promoting fear. And fear is easy to promote because it scares people. People have been worrying about their health and their money, and now they're scared, especially because of how things are moving and how quickly they're moving. Let's back up though. We were already short supply of homes in 2020, and then COVID hit. People are now working from home. They're no longer commuting. People no longer want to live in the city where they work and they want more space, so they're moving out west. People are working remotely. They're starting to move out of state. They need office space. They need more space for their kids. There's all these different factors. And during this time, interest rates went up. And there is more interest in buying a home now than ever before. This is just adding more and more to the short supply we are already undergoing. You know, this pattern kept going through 2020. You had the same people spreading rumors that the housing crash was coming. Then it was housing crash third quarter 2020. Then housing crash fourth quarter 2020. The same people over and over again. Now we're in 2021. The biggest difference is you have less inventory now than you did at any point last year. You know, just recently they proposed a foreclosure extension through the end of 2021. So it's easy to say from a nervous standpoint, once all of this stuff comes to the market, it's going to crash. There are many people waiting on the sidelines for home prices to pull back and get into the housing market. But guess what? It has continued to rise. If you're telling people there's going to be a crash and that there's this opportunity that you're going to be able to buy a home for less, you know, you better believe I'd also be jumping on that bandwagon. It's kind of like politics. You follow what fits your agenda. And in this market, you have people that want that to happen. They're going to feed into it. One thing you have to understand is housing prices are built upon supply and demand. The difference is in many markets you have less than a month to a month and a half supply of actual homes on the housing market. So what does this mean? That means if no new homes came on the market during that month or a month and a half, depending on the inventory level of that area, there would be no homes for sale. A balanced market is where it's equal to buyers and sellers, and that's somewhere around 6 months supply of homes. So if you take, for example, Weber, Davis, and Salt Lake County, that's just over 1,000 homes with 1.8 million people. We're about a month and a quarter supply of homes. So you got to think, in order for us to get to a balanced market of 6 months, that 1,000 homes has to double, taking us to just over 2,000 homes. Then it has to double, almost triple, taking us to 5,000, getting us to a balanced market. One where sellers don't have control, buyers don't have control. It's equal for both parties. That's where home prices aren't appreciating, but they're not depreciating either. We're just 3 counties here in Utah, so you got to have millions and millions of property come to the market in order for this to balance out. So with moratoriums being extended, evictions being extended, the idea that you're gonna have all these properties come to the market at once isn't realistic. Let's pretend more homes start coming onto the market here and there. Moratorium opens up. Some states start allowing foreclosures to happen. If every home is getting multiple offers and offering over asking price, wouldn't you think if more homes came onto the market that buyers would then disperse their energy onto multiple properties? Now instead of having 20 offers on one property, we're looking at 5 to 6 on multiple properties. People think that when moratoriums hit the market, prices are going to decline. Let's pretend that this is the case and say you recently made an offer on a house in a neighborhood for $400,000. It was one that had multiple offers, you were 1 against 10 and you didn't get it. Now we have more homes coming to the market. There's a similar home in the neighborhood that now comes onto the market for $350,000. Do you think you might be in a position to make an offer on that property? You're interested at $400,000, now one comes in at $350,000. Don't you think you'd be interested? Yeah. And chances are, every single person that missed out on that property at $400,000, there will still be buyer demand. If someone is a buyer at $400,000, if the property comes on less, chances are there's still going to be a buyer because they get the same property for less money, which actually may not be less money because if you have multiple buyers, it could just drive that price right back up. Think about it from a standpoint of a buyer. If homes start selling for less money than they did a little bit ago, don't you think buyer demand's going to be there and drive that price up? That's my thought. I don't think you're going to see enough property hit the market to drive down prices because of the way this whole thing's going to roll out. They're not going to allow all of this to happen at the same time because it would crush the economy. These are my thoughts on the idea of a crash and my idea of buying or waiting. A lot of people are asking these questions and each person's scenario is different. So you got to ask yourself these questions. Why are you waiting? What's important to you in the process? Those are questions that people like myself or others putting content out there, they can't answer for you. I'm just trying to provide education and hopefully let it be a guide. I don't want to convince anyone to buy or not buy. I just want to give you my thoughts on the housing market so you can make sound decisions based on what you're trying to accomplish. As we get more information on the housing market, updated information on the moratorium, I'll continue to update you and I'll encourage you to leave a comment or DM me, ask me a question. I appreciate all of your support so much and thanks for watching.